Hello everyone, welcome to PHTV Channel 4 in Palos Heights. I'm Sue Jankowski and we are here with the Travel Show. In this show, we always tell you about a great adventure that is waiting for you. And with us, we have Kathy Janes from Class Act Travel in Worth.
Hi there.
Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. And you know, it's just so great to see Kathy because we know she always brings us a great guest. And today, that is Dawn Elmendorf. Dawn, welcome to our program today.
Thank you so much.
Nice to have you here. And Dawn comes from Rocky Mountaineer. I mean, really, that's very specific. So we know what is going to be featured there. I just saw a commercial for Denver. And I was like, oh, Denver, I love Denver.
Oh, I do too.
You know,
yes.
so we're going to hear a little bit about that. But so I guess what we need to do to get started today is ask Dawn. I mean, I see these beautiful brochures here, which feature the lovely mountains that we have in this country. So it's quite beautiful. Dawn, tell us about your company, first of all, I guess.
So Rocky Mountaineer, we're a luxury train travel, and we do train travel through the Canadian Rockies. So we are based in Vancouver, British Columbia, and we are a family-run company, and which is really exciting because I like working for a family-run company. But we're really growing. So we operate train travel, again, luxury train travel, basically from Vancouver over to Calgary. You can start in Seattle, you can start in Vancouver, you can start in Calgary and run that route through the Canadian Rockies.
Oh my gosh. Now this is perfect for a lot of people who want to see the Canadian Rockies, want to go up to Canada, don't want to leave the country, don't want to fly. And I mean, this is the great opportunity. And you're talking about a luxury train.
It is.
So how about if you describe that train to us?
So we have two classes of service on the train. We have our Silver Leaf service and we have our Gold Leaf service. Both services are all inclusive, which means when you're on the train, all your meals, and believe me, they are gourmet meals. I was just on the train last week, actually.
So she knows, yeah.
So I'm very excited about that. Just on the train last week. Oh, I had salmon, I had eggs Benedict. It was amazing. So no matter which class of service you take, it's all inclusive. Your breakfast and lunch are included. Your snacks and all your alcoholic, non-alcoholic beverages are included. One thing about Rocky Mountaineer that really differs us from anybody else, besides the luxury component, is that we are daylight-only train travel, which means you are not overnighting on the train. Number one, that's uncomfortable.
And then you don't miss what's out there.
Exactly,
at the night.
exactly.
You're not missing
That's
things.
true too.
Yeah,
You
because
will be sleeping through the prettiest part
Oh,
of the
right.
Canadian
so you
Rockies.
can't miss it because you're not going anywhere. You're spending a night in a hotel.
Right, it's more comfortable, and the most important part, as she mentioned, is that you're seeing the prettiest part. You're not sleeping through the prettiest part.
Well, that makes it even better, really.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So you reach a destination, you get off, and what type of hotels are you staying at?
Oh boy. Oh boy. Yes.
So all first class, superior first class, 4 or 5 star hotels. We do a lot of Fairmonts. Once you get off the train, so our train travel is really only 2 to 3 days, depending on which route you take. We have 4 routes, and depending on which route you take, you're either on the train either 2 or 3 days, overnighting in hotels. And then once you get to the Canadian Rockies, you're staying in places like the Fairmont Chateau Lake Louise, the Banff Fairmont Springs, in Jasper. So it's really some amazing properties,
Well, that just sounds great. So once you get off the train, you want to sightsee because you want to see what's there.
Absolutely.
So what happens then?
So Rocky Mountaineer can customize anything you want at that point. So, you know, we always recommend working with your travel agent because the travel agent really knows what's there and in your
what
case,
to see,
you've been
right?
there.
I've been there, right?
So,
I've been there,
yeah, she's been there. We were just chatting earlier about how wonderful Banff is. So with your travel agent, Rocky Mountaineer can customize anything you want. Any type of sightseeing, from helicopter rides through the Canadian Rockies to float trips down the Bow River in Banff.
It's
Float
just
trips,
cool.
That
It's
just sounds it was so nice.
And the Chateau Lake Louise, right behind it by the lake, there is a glacier. That's right, and it's an amazing. First, it's an amazing hotel, and it's where it's situated at is just, yipes! It is magnificent, just gorgeous, just sitting right there in front of the mountains. And the food,
It's very good too.
Oh,
Okay,
yes.
now what size is this train? Are we hundreds of people on it? 1,000 people? What size is
it
this?
depends. The cars themselves are Silverleaf cars, which are single-level train cars. You actually dine right at your seat. Your chef comes by and he gives you a choice of 2 entrees, which I like. I'm a really picky eater, I have to admit. So I like it because I can peek up and say no sauce on my salmon or whatever. And those cars hold about 55, 58 people.
Okay.
And then there's our Gold Leaf. And our Gold Leaf cars are the 2-level train cars with the big domed windows. So you have really a 180-degree view.
Beautiful.
It's beautiful. And then you take a spiral staircase and you dine on the main level.
Okay.
More restaurant style.
Oh, I see.
Tables, yeah. And we have about 66 people on each car.
And
with that,
how long are these?
It
how many cars would
simply
be?
depends on how many people we have in Silverleaf and how many people we have in Gold Leaf.
Okay, so it just changes all the
It
time.
does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you said you might start, for example, in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll just describe a trip. If you started in Seattle, what would you do next?
So if you start in Seattle, you would actually start on the train about 4 o'clock in the evening, and you'd have an amazing dinner on board Rocky Mountaineer, and you'd be heading north as the sun is setting over the Puget Sound, and it's just absolutely spectacular.
That is
pretty.
cool. Yeah.
And then you'd overnight in Vancouver. The next day you'd get up and get on the train from Vancouver. That's where our main train station is. We have a brand new train station, and we make a big deal of it. We bring in the piano player and Billy, who plays the bagpipes, as you walk onto the red carpet onto the train.
How neat is that?
That is pretty nice.
And one thing that's really that I really love about this company is we have people who are volunteers, and you don't know this unless you happen to be talking to me, but people who will welcome you at the train station and help you with your luggage, they're actually volunteers from our headquarters.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and we never have a lack of volunteers. Everybody's so excited because they know what an amazing trip they're getting ready to have, that they
That is
volunteer their
cool.
time every day before their shift. And in fact, if the CEO or the president are in town, they're out there.
Really?
Yeah. I was just there last Sunday. I went on the train a week ago, and sure enough, the CEO and the VP of Sales were out there waving the
That's
train
great.
off.
That's
it's
great.
a lot of fun.
And so with it being that close and friendly and family owned and operated, then you do have that kind of special attention because they want you to really,
Right.
it's not a corporation, well, I mean, it might be, but they
Yeah,
really want you
not,
to
yeah.
have an experience.
They really do. And when you're on board, you'll have anywhere from 2 hosts to 4 hosts, depending if you're on Silverleaf or Gold Leaf. And those hosts will take amazing care of you. Besides helping the culinary team serve you, they will point out the sights that you're seeing. The waterfalls are on both sides, beautiful. They're great animal spotters. They'll yell, "Bear on the right," and everybody goes to the right side of the train. And
The train kind of leads that way. Yeah.
I was going to say, at least it's not a boat. Where you're
Yeah. And then there's a moose on the left, so you go over there. So they're great. They're great animal spotters. We saw bear, we saw elk, we saw moose, we saw everything.
Wow.
It was really fantastic, and I don't know how they do it, but they can see those animals.
Well, they must be used to watching for them too, and
They
just knowing
And
what to look
spots
for.
that they know that they are.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, so you're traveling along in Seattle and you're leaving in the evening. Now you said you do stay not on the train, so you're not on the train very long that first day.
That's a short ride. That's about 4 hours, and then you overnight in Vancouver, and then the next day, like I mentioned, you'd get up and you'd go on the train again in Vancouver, and from there you head. It depends on which route you take. You can either head north towards Whistler, or you head east towards Kamloops, and that's about then an 8-hour train ride. And then you're going to get off and overnight in Kamloops. You'll be off usually by dinner time.
That's a perfect time. That's just about the time that you start getting
Start getting a
fancy
little
in
antsy.
your seat, and you
Yeah.
want to, and
Yeah.
that way then you're off, and now you can have a nice walk around the town, see the town, and then get a nice dinner.
Exactly. I went for a short run and just to kind of get my legs moving, and then went for dinner and had a
Nice.
great time. And then back on the train the next day, and then I ended in Banff, and I got off the train in Banff the following day.
Okay.
And then I spent a few days there.
Now, you were talking about being in Banff. What's in Banff that viewers
A
would
moose
like
at
to
the
see.
railroad tracks. Honest to goodness, when we were there, he's standing right at the in town.
Oh, hi.
Yeah, that's what we said too. That's exactly what we said. Hi there, Charlie. What are you doing here? Yeah, he was right there in town. Banff is a cute little town.
A great town, a great town. I always recommend a couple nights in Vancouver and at least 2 nights in Banff. First time I did this, I made the mistake. I got off, we were actually delayed getting into Banff, so I got in around 8 o'clock at night, and I had an 8 a.m. transfer to Calgary. I made that mistake once. I will never make that mistake again. I will never let our travelers make that mistake. Yeah, so, because there is so much to do. I actually took an excursion to the Columbia ice fields. So I was standing on a glacier that was as thick as the Eiffel Tower is
That's
tall.
amazing.
Wow.
That is
Over
just
1,000
amazing.
feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So wait, what you're saying then is you arrive somewhere and it's up to you to decide how long you want to stay there and then get on another train, a different train, not your train.
No, the train portion is what it is. You're going to say you're going to go from Vancouver over to Banff. You'll overnight in Kamloops, get to Banff, or get to Jasper, whichever route you take. And then that's where you customize
I
everything.
see. Okay,
And that's
and
where
then
you can stay as long as you want. And then from there, you would either take another train back,
Okay.
or you could fly out of Calgary.
oh, I see. Okay, so you're taking this trip of about 3 days to a destination. Then you're deciding what to do there,
Exactly.
and then leaving from there, or not.
taking it back, yeah.
Now, so all of this takes place in the Canadian Rockies.
Yes.
And so you're leaving, you can choose whether you want to leave from Vancouver or Seattle. And then customize your trip from there. Now, in this book that you can find at Kathy's, you have to work for it a little. You have to go there. You have to go there. And so there's different routes in here that you can choose, like what would be really interesting to you to do.
Exactly.
Now, this one looks like it's a little bit longer.
Yes, that's our 3-day route. So this starts in Vancouver. It's called our Rainforest to Gold Rush route. Why we call it Rainforest to Gold Rush is because at the beginning and the end, it's very lush. But in the middle, when you go to Quesnel, it's very desert-like. It's where the gold rush happened. So there's a huge topography difference there.
Wow.
So that's why we call it Rainforest to Gold Rush. That's our only 3-day route. You say start in Vancouver, you'll overnight in Whistler, get on the train, overnight in Quesnel, get on the train, and end in Jasper. And from Jasper, you can work your way down by car or motor coach. We have excursions that you can do all kinds of sightseeing.
Okay, so from that point, you just need to figure out where do I want to go and what do I want to do. And you know, I mean, maybe there's a lot of people that do. I've been to Canada, but not that much. So I don't really know a lot about Canada. And here it is, a close by neighbor that we could be looking at. We know how much we love our Rocky Mountains, so imagine their Rocky Mountains are quite beautiful
They're
as
actually,
well.
I mean, we
I
were
think they're
talking about this early.
a little bit more rustic, a little bit more.
Kind of more in your face. And,
Yeah,
I was trying to
yeah.
figure out while I was there because
Yeah.
they just seem more majestic, is what they really seem.
And
I
I
think it's
don't-
because they're closer to you. I think because
Oh,
they're
that could
closer.
be because they're like here,
Yeah.
where ours are a little bit further
just
away,
a little bit further away. Yeah.
and maybe more rugged,
yeah.
kind of
They're
like
more in your face,
Yeah, I
rugged,
mean
yeah.
they're gorgeous.
They're absolutely
absolutely gorgeous because we skied. That's when we stayed at the Chateau Lake Louise. We went in there and we skied there, and that's just they're incredible. They really are incredible.
That sounds really interesting. So now, would you say for a trip like this that, I would think this would fill up pretty quickly. Like how much ahead of time can you get into something like this?
Well, as long as you're a little bit flexible on which way you're going and some of your classes of hotels, we do have plenty of availability still for 2018. If you're very set, because I do know some people have to schedule their vacations during certain weeks. If you're set on a certain week, I recommend doing it about a year in advance.
Absolutely, because we have run into that issue where people wanted certain times and we couldn't do it.
Oh,
because they
wow.
were totally sold out. And then we tried both classes, silver and gold, still couldn't do it. And it was just, that was that busy and it's that cool of a trip that they do sell out.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had no. I mean, this.
Yeah.
I'm learning something. I really had no idea.
I mean, it really
And,
is a neat deal.
The pictures
And
look
you can see
beautiful,
the big domed windows, and
which is really
just amazing.
Kind of what
Just
you want to
amazing.
do. I
Yeah,
would
well,
think.
to see the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the neat part about our gold leaf service, you actually have an outdoor viewing area where you can stand
Oh, I'll stand outside.
Oh, that's
The
nice
train
too.
only goes about 35 miles an hour max.
Oh.
So it's a nice leisurely, and so you can stand outside and just breathe in that fresh
Well,
air.
I'm just going to say enjoy the air because,
Oh,
it's
that-
different.
Your lungs don't
Yeah.
know what happened.
Well, and that's the thing too.
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't know if you can see any of these pictures, but I mean, I think that the idea that it's not going really fast. You know, you're
Right.
able to look
Taking-
out and
taking
really
their time.
enjoy.
Right. And honestly, once you get past Vancouver, you're not going to see another highway or road. We are going, as you can tell, down by rivers,
I mean,
lakes,
look at that.
canyons,
Isn't that gorgeous?
literally
Really
through
is
mountains.
gorgeous.
And
I mean,
we are the only
beautiful.
passenger train to run on 2 of the routes that we run on. The only passenger train.
That's pretty impressive. And that's the kind of stuff you see. Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Beautiful. I don't know how much you can see this, but it really is gorgeous. And what a gorgeous trip. I mean, if you really want to feel like back to nature and clean air and beautiful mountains and gorgeous scenery,
relaxing.
this seems like the way to go. So I guess really, I mean, if you're not fussy about your time, you can find out and maybe get a trip right away.
Correct.
But if you
Correct.
really say, no, I only like to go in October or something, then
Gotta get
you really
going.
need to
Yeah.
make a plan ahead of time.
And we only run the train mid-April to mid-October.
Oh,
So the train
that
only
makes
runs
sense too.
mid-April to mid-October.
Yeah.
And so April and October are the our kind of shoulder season, our off season. But still some great. I was just there, like I said, in April. Lake Louise was frozen over, so I actually got to walk on the lake,
That's
which was
cool.
really cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
I saw beautiful snow-capped mountains. Like I said, I saw
And
a
it
bear going
snowed.
through the snow, and
And
it
it
snowed,
snowed.
and I didn't even mind it because
Yeah.
I was in the mountains, unlike here.
Yeah. Much better than us here, yeah.
So you see more wildlife in the spring and the fall because they're coming in and out of hibernation. So in the spring, they're coming out of hibernation, and we share the lines with the rail lines with the freight trains. The freight trains are carrying feed. The feed
They
is
know
flying
it.
off the freight
Oh.
trains
Yeah, they know it.
down by the rail lines. So we saw bear right down by the rail lines looking for
Yeah,
food.
that's why they know when
That's-
this is
that's
the most.
exactly right, yeah.
Same thing. Yeah, same thing in the fall. They're looking for food. In September, I mentioned we travel along a lot of rivers: the Fraser River, the Kicking Horse River. The salmon run happens. So sometimes
see
in
the
in
salmons,
there-
yeah.
you can see the salmon, and then you see the bears trying to catch the salmon.
That's cool.
It's really neat, really neat. In the fall, you get the vibrant colors in Vancouver, which is just an awesome city. Every time I go to headquarters, I stay an extra day in Vancouver just to.
It's so pretty.
Yeah, it's just fabulous. It's really young and fun, but yet cultural.
Well, then the Bouchard Gardens aren't all that far away. That's another thing.
Right,
for-
you can certainly do excursions, a day excursion to Bouchard
Correct.
Gardens
Yeah,
on
because-
Victoria Island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what I found out, which I did not know, that was a rock quarry that they turned into these gardens that are absolutely incredible.
World known.
Yeah. So it'd be easy in Vancouver to spend an extra day, go see that, and still do this.
Yes.
Beside,
Absolutely, absolutely.
that's a cool idea.
That's why you have to talk to Kathy so she can tell you.
See, she knows.
Go over to Bouchard Gardens.
yeah.
Stay an
Go over
extra
here, yeah.
day,
Yeah.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you want to make the most of your trip. So, I mean, and this sounds like just more like an adventure because you're on a train. And I mean, it's kind of like a throwback kind of thing almost.
It
You know,
is.
that you're
It is.
on a train enjoying that.
Wait for the cowboys to come up and rob you, right?
So they have one of those cow catchers. Okay, so luxury train ride available, Destination Wonderland. I can see why. And if you would like to know more about this, you need to talk to Kathy at Classic Travel. Kathy, you want to give your information?
Sure. We are in Worth at 6946 West 111th Street. That's a corner of 111th and Worth Avenue. Our phone number is 708-448-6560. We are open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, Saturday, 9 to 1, evenings by appointment. So if you need an evening, call me. If you need a Sunday, call me. I was just in this past Sunday because somebody couldn't come in during the week, so we're there on Sunday. Just let me know, and we can be there for you to help you out to take one of these things. Okay, guys? Thank you.
Sounds good.
I'd like to mention one thing, if
Yes,
you don't
I was
mind.
going to
real
ask
quick.
you anything else we need to know.
Absolutely, absolutely. Right now, for 2018 travel, we are offering a free hotel night in either Seattle, Vancouver, or Calgary, either before or after your trip.
My client's got that.
So so her
client's
client's
that.
got the free hotel night. It's a fabulous opportunity. So like I said, we still have space for 2018. So if you want that promo,
Yeah.
Do it.
Call
Do
Kathy.
it. Do it. Do
Yeah,
it.
that's a nice little bonus to get that hotel room.
right? Because
for-
we do not
for free.
discount. Rocky Mountaineer,
Yeah.
we have pricing integrity. So don't think you're going to wait until
The last
June
minute
and
and-
get a fire sale
Yeah.
because it won't happen. You won't have space. So this is a really good offer.
Okay, so just remember that, and that's true with a lot of traveling. You
Yes,
know,
it is.
I think everyone thinks
Absolutely.
you wait till last minute, you're going to get some really hot
No,
deal,
you're
but,
not.
but you actually
No.
don't
you're not.
go.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you have a set time that you have to go, and you're waiting, and it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It just is not.
And it's not.
They know what the product is. This is what it is, and this is what you have to pay for. It's not going to get better. You guys got to do it. If you know what you want to do,
ahead.
you got to do it then, even if it's a year out. Take
Exactly.
insurance on it. You can cancel it. There's not anything that you're going to lose. But guys, don't wait. Don't think it's going to get cheaper because it's not going to happen. It just is not going to happen.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right, word to the wise.
Yeah.
Call Kathy. Thank you, Dawn, for being here.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I just think this is a great adventure for everybody, so you might want to look into it. It's something really, really different. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time when we tell you about somewhere else great to go. Bye-bye.
Bye.